Greetings, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to Ancient Books of Knowledge and Wisdom. I wanted to discuss the planet Nibiru because I recently had a dream about this planet. I was taken to this planet and I was shown some things about the reptilians. It's like my ancestors from Nibiru were trying to send a warning to me about reptilians taking over the land. It appears that these beings travel throughout the cosmos and they take over planets. In the dream, I saw where these reptilian beings were controlling and ruling over the people in the land. They were harnessing the energy from the people in the land. Since Nibiru has returned to my consciousness, I guess it's time to explore the lost book of Enki to investigate this Nibiru planet. Personally, I feel like these beings on Nibiru descended from the Sirius star system. They are a very advanced race and they came to the earth to save their planet. As you begin to look deeper in the scriptures, you notice that these angels were extraterrestrial beings who descended from Nibiru. The children of Israel were communicating with the Anunnaki because the Anunnaki were in their bloodline. With all the research that I have done, it seemed like Enki was the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's possible I could be wrong, but I will go with my own intuition on this as I was led to the Lost Book of Enki, and it resonates with a lot of things in the Old Testament. There were wars that occurred on Earth between the sons of Enki and the sons of Enlil, but Enki didn't want humans to be involved in their wars. It was to be kept between them. The Nibirians brought their weapons of destruction to the earth on a chariot when one of the beings on Nibiru escaped to the earth. He brought a nuclear missile to the earth and it was hidden by Enki. So apparently there is some good with Enki. He's not all evil as some people claim. So I want to look at the Lost Book of Enki to see what he was trying to tell us. He studied the heavens and established the time on the earth. He was very intelligent and he was wise as a serpent. It is very well possible that these beings will one day return to the earth as their planet passes through our solar system. This planet comes into our solar system approximately every 3,600 years, and when it returns, it usually creates some type of destruction on the Earth because of its gravitational pull on our planet. Nibiru caused the Great Flood, and it caused the plagues of Egypt during the Exodus. If you compare the Colburn Bible and the book of Exodus, it will all make sense to what was happening during that time, and it was all because of this celestial god known as Nibiru. It was seen in the heavens and it was identified as the destroyer. In ancient times, the planets were known as celestial gods. The truth is, all planets and suns in the universe are living conscious beings. All its energy and the planets and suns are very powerful. They all have different ranks and have different celestial powers. They have been given power within them to create or to destroy, just like us. We have the power to create and we have the power to destroy. We ultimately choose our path as conscious living beings on this earth. The creator of all consists of all living things in the universe, and we must first understand that we are all manifestations of the creator of all. We are all angels of the creator, and we each have different roles and ranks in the universe. Our ancestors kept the records and passed it on to their descendants, but over time the knowledge became lost and we fell in consciousness. Our ancestors wanted us to know when they would return to the earth. They gave us signs of their return, but some people in the world wanted to take the knowledge for themselves and hide the truth so that the whole world would be in darkness. Darkness is ignorance, and light is information or knowledge. The wicked ones wanted to seek control over the earth, and they did for some time, but their reign on this earth is over. Our ancestors wanted to warn us of things to come, so they wrote it on scrolls and stone tablets so that the records would survive for a future generation. They knew a future generation would restore the ancient records and investigate the Sumerian texts. There is an appointed time for everything. Enki was trying to prepare his descendants for a future event, so he established appointed times for the children of Israel. He gave them commandments to live by, and those commandments were summed up to love. The appointed times established for the children of Israel were feast days. They were supposed to keep the feast days and remember the events that occurred in the past. What happened in the past were bound to happen again. They were supposed to pass the knowledge down generation after generation. Everything that was done happened for a reason. All was set up strategically. Enki had a plan. He thought it was his fault initially, and he felt bad for all that happened on the earth. He had to teach his people so they wouldn't be in darkness. Enki came from the planet called Nibiru. He was one with the celestial god. This planet is very powerful in nature, and it has a very strong gravitational pull on the planets and the solar system, and it can also create solar flares on our sun that can be devastating to the earth. Nibiru became known as the god of the Hebrews. It was known as the throne of God. This planet caused so much destruction on the earth as it passed by, so it was to be feared. This celestial god was wrathful, and it caused desolation to the whole land. The chariots of the Most High were the Israelite salvation, literally. During the great flood, the Annunaki escaped in their chariots, and they watched the land being destroyed from above. Everything in the scriptures was set up as a secret code. Everyone is not going to understand the secret messages hidden in the scriptures. People are going to see what they want to see, but the true bloodlines of these beings will remember because it's all stored within their DNA records. All the memories are stored within their DNA, and it can be accessed during certain times. Only those with a pure heart will be able to decode the messages hidden in the text. It's all hidden in plain sight through symbolism, and you must be able to open your third eye. The truth is, Enki was trying to warn his descendants of the arrival of Nibiru and the return of the chariots of Nibiru. Everything that happened in the past would be bound to happen again, and I can see this for myself. It's a cycle. He saw destruction come into the earth during appointed times. He knew the destiny of the earth during certain times because he knew Nibiru would return to the solar system because of his orbital path. Anything that is on the same cycle or path is bound to repeat the same thing unless there is a sudden orbital shift or a vibrational shift in the celestial gods or the planets and suns. If this occurs, a new cycle and a new path for the celestial gods or planets can be established. It's like the solar system would be recreated through the course of certain celestial events. We know there will be a new earth and a new heaven, but how does this come to pass? Something must happen for this to be done. Order must be re-established in the heavens. All things must be aligned and balanced between all the orbits of the planets and between all star systems. Once all of this is established, does this mean no more destruction for the earth? Will Earth be moved to another location in heaven, or will Earth suffer the same fate as before? I will let you gather your own thoughts and judge the matter, as there are so many possibilities. I am only a messenger sent to the people of the earth to help raise the consciousness of this planet. I know that things can change in time if you honestly desire change. The same cycle doesn't have to repeat. A new cycle can be created. If we can shift in consciousness, so can the celestial gods or planets. The planets are very intelligent living beings, and all the living beings who exist on the planets are one with the consciousness of the planet. Every living being who dwells on the planet can influence the path of that planet. So, If majority of people on this planet is operating in low vibrational frequencies, then we will attract chaos and destructions. If we are operating in higher vibrational frequencies, then we will attract love, joy, and peace, and Earth's balance will be restored. The same for other beings on other planets. It's all about electromagnetic energy. I feel like Earth could have experienced way more disasters, but there are many beings sent here who are trying to balance the energies. But that's another video, as I have way more information within me that needs to be released at a later time. For now, we will look at the message that Enki sent to us on the Sumerian Tablets. Most people focus on the negative aspects of the Anunnaki, but I chose to see the higher message sent from Enki. He knew a future generation would receive the messages, and those who were willing to receive his message would become his messengers. Ever since 2013, I wonder who that being was that contacted me through the Spirit when he said, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I knew I was being called for something. That voice I heard led me to all that I have discovered. I have been seeking knowledge this entire time, and I can see the connection between the beings in the Old Testament and the Sumerian tablets. It also led me to the discovery of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, and Thoth descended from Nibiru. He was a son of Enki. Thoth wrote a lot of things, and it's very similar to the teachings of Yeshua. To me, it seems like Yeshua and Thoth are one. If Yeshua teachings sound like the writings of Thoth, then he had to read them. There is a connection between Yeshua and the sons of Enki. The bloodline leads all the way back to the Anunnaki, and Yeshua came to teach the lost tribes of Israel. Yeshua was sent on a mission to restore the true teachings of his ancestors. The ancient records became corrupted over time, and he was sent to restore the old teachings. So let's review what is Nibiru. In the prior times, the abode of the gods was on their own planet, Nibiru in its name, a great planet, reddish in radiance around the sun, an elongated circuit Nibiru makes. From this, you can see that the planet was a reddish planet. So if you look at it in the sky, it is going to appear reddish in color, okay? So you guys need to remember that when you read the Bible and you see some of the things that happened during the plagues of Egypt, and you notice some of the blood rivers and even the sky being, reddish in color and things like that, you really have to look at the Coburn Bible to kind of see what I'm talking about with all of this, because they go hand in hand. So if you have not read the Coburn Bible, please read that yourself so that you can kind of see the similarities between the Coburn Bible and the plagues of Egypt. And I'm trying to connect all of it to the Lost Book of Enki, so you can kind of see how everything flows together. Okay, now in the Lost Book of Enki, it goes on to say that for a time in the cold is Nibiru engulfed. For part of its circuit by the sun strongly it is heated. A thick atmosphere Nibiru envelops by volcanic eruptions constantly fed. All manner of life this atmosphere sustains. Without it, there will be only perishing. In the cold period, the inner heat of Nibiru, it keeps about the planet like a warm coat that is constantly renewed. In the hot period, it shields Nibiru from the sun's scorching rays. In its midst, rains it holds and releases to lakes and streams, giving rise. Lush vegetation, our atmosphere feeds and protects. All manner of life in the waters and on the land to sprout it caused. After aeons of time, our own species sprouted by our own essence and eternal seed to procreate. As our numbers grew, To many regions of Nibiru our ancestors spread. Some tilled the land, some four-legged creatures shepherded, some lived on the mountains, some in the valleys their home made. Rivalries occurred, encroachments happened, clashes occurred, sticks became weapons, clans gathered into tribes, then two great nations each other faced. The nations of the north against the nations of the south took up arms. What was held by hand to thrusting missiles was turned. Weapons of thunder and brilliance increased the terror. Okay, so basically you can kind of see how the times of Nibiru were established. It spent half of the time in the cold, and then the other time it was hot. Okay, so it's like two seasons. Okay, just like we have 4 seasons on the earth, Nibiru has 2 seasons. Okay, and when you continue to read on in the Lost Book of Enki, as it becomes closer to our sun, Nibiru experienced a lot of destruction on their planet as well. So the Earth experiences destruction, and so does Nibiru. A lot of people are missing this fact as well. Everybody's always talking about how, Earth is, being destroyed during the time of Nibiru, but Nibiru also suffers as well. So both of the planets are suffering at this time. Their atmosphere is pretty much being destroyed as well. Okay, and that actually affects the life on their planet. So you have to understand that it's not just humans on the earth, it's also life on Nibiru, other planets and animals that are also being affected as well. Okay. As you continue to read on in the Book of Enki, you will also see that some of the beings on Nibiru, they became very wise, okay? They observed the heavens. They wanted understanding. They wanted to know what was happening, okay? So I'm not going to read every single thing. I'm just going to give you an overview of pretty much what occurred on Nibiru so that you can have a basic understanding. Just like the Bible gave you a basic understanding, I'm just going to give you a basic understanding about Nibiru, okay? So if you want to have the full understanding, you must read the tablets in full yourself so that you can understand everything that I'm trying to tell you, okay? I had to do the research by myself. I had to read all of these books to put this all together to understand the whole picture. You just cannot listen to one person interpretation of something, or because you don't know what they've read, you don't know their level of understanding, you don't know what they believe, you don't know their background, you don't know how they see things. So you have to be the judge for yourself. You have to research this yourself to understand the higher messages that Enki was trying to pretty much tell all of us. Okay, so when you look in the Book of Enki, you will see that they had established kingdoms on, their planet. Okay, there were 2 kingdoms. It was Northern Kingdom and it was the Southern Kingdom. And if you guys really pay attention, the same thing happened with the children of Israel. It was the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom. Okay, can you not see the similarities in the structure of how things were passed down generation after generation? It was just really trying to lead you to the Book of Enki so that you can see where the children of Israel descended from. Okay, and we all know that in the Bible both of the kingdoms fell. Okay, when you look at Nibiru and you see how everything was pretty much operated on their planet, at some point they united. Okay, both of the kingdoms came together and they united. If you want to understand how secession was, you have to read the Book of Enki. I'm not going to go over all of that with secession. That's how they did their customs and their laws and things on their planet. You have to remember, this is something that was established on their planet, okay, not Earth. Okay, they brought the information down to the Earth, and things, was taken the way that it was taken with humanity. So I'm not going to go into all of that, but when you continue to read the Book of Enki, the more that they began to, study the heavens, they began to notice that their atmosphere, was being destroyed. And they saw this. They was paying attention, just like they, we should be paying attention to nature, as nature shows us everything that's happening on the earth. Just like when you see signs on the earth have happened, they were seeing signs on their planet as well. And at some point they're like, okay, well, what's going on? We have to figure this out. So they pretty much looked to, the stars to see what was happening. And over time, long story short, they knew that it was because of their orbit. They knew that as they got closer to our sun, when they got closer to our solar system, things were starting to happen on their planet, okay? And we know that they came here for the gold, okay? The initial mission was to come to the earth to get the gold. The initial mission was not to control and take over land or do any of that. They came here for one thing, and it was to get the gold so that they could prepare their atmosphere so that they can save their planet and ultimately save the life on that planet, okay? This is something that everyone is missing and overlooking. Everybody keeps going into all of this other stuff and try to make them seem to be something else. Their initial reason was to come here for gold, okay? So however you want to interpret that, you interpret it on your own. I'm only here to tell you the truth on who these beings were, why they came here, and that was their mission, to get the gold, to prepare their planet, and to move on. But other plans, it is what it is. We always end up doing something else, okay? And Enki, sorry to say, but he is a very creative being, okay? And he had an idea, and he went forward with his idea. They needed help, okay? They needed help to mine the gold, okay? They were not creating slaves just to mistreat them or to treat them horribly. They actually took care of the beings that they actually created, okay? So the way that people look at slavery during that time was certainly different, okay? They were laboring, okay? They were working, okay? They was putting in work, you know what I'm saying? That's what people do. That's what hard workers do. They put in the work, okay? So, beating people, torturing people, doing all of that unnecessary stuff, they were not doing. Okay, so that's something that I want to make a point to that, because I'm tired of people making my ancestors look like they were torturing people and doing some of the most craziest crimes against humanity, when some of these other beings on this planet today are the ones that are torturing humanity and trying to kill humanity. Okay, so they're trying to flip everything and put the blame on somebody else versus taking the blame for themselves, because they are the ones that's ultimately working with some other reptilian beings, okay? So I just want to let you guys know that as well. So now we're going to move on, and we're going to pretty much talk about what really happened when the chariot arrived on the planet, okay? Right now, to this day, a lot of people is, trying to figure out about UFOs and chariots and things like that. We must understand that there are other intelligent beings in the universe that come to the earth on ships. Yes, they have. Man, these beings, okay, have very advanced technology, okay? They have ships and stuff. Yes, they be riding in space, you know what I'm saying? Going to planet, whatever you want to call it, okay? All of these beings who do, travel in space are not all evil. Okay, all of them does not have this agenda to just destroy, other races. There are some beings who, want control and power, and they want to go and destroy the land and take over the land, and um make themselves be, gods, or whatever you want to, whatever you want to call them. Okay, we know that these Anunnaki beings who came here initially, okay, they were not trying to make themselves be gods. Okay, they were not trying to make themselves be gods. Okay, their descendants honored them. Okay, they knew that these beings were the ones who taught them. They knew the truth at that particular time. Everything was not corrupted like it is today. They knew the truth. They knew who these beings were. The children of Israel actually communicated to these beings at all times. Some of them were invited to even go up on the chariots. Okay, so when you look through history, you will see that our ancestors had the knowledge of UFOs. They had the knowledge of chariots descending. They had this knowledge. Okay, so over time, the information pretty much got lost. So we must now remember the old teachings and understand these things, because, to be honest, I don't know about all of you guys, but the chariots are here. Okay, I know that the Anunnaki are here in ships, and they've been watching us this entire time. So for all these people who are out here lying on the Anunnaki and talking about, all this negative stuff about the Anunnaki, you might want to just chill out a little bit, okay? Because you have no idea what these beings are capable of doing at this particular time. We understand the knowledge that they had back in the day. So much time has went by, you guys, so you have no idea how strong and mighty these beings are at this time. And keep in mind that, yes, maybe during the old times, yeah, that was kind of low in vibration or whatever, but you know that at certain times, okay, we all will evolve. So these beings could have evolved, okay? They could have evolved, and I can just tell you right now that they evolved, because for number one, if you have read the Emerald Tablets and you have, read some of the stuff that Thoth written, oh my God, okay? That's all I'm going to say, is that he is very knowledgeable, okay? And can do and achieve, can do a whole lot of things, you guys. And I've been the one to witness a lot of things as well, with your third eye being open. So you need to raise your vibration, raise your frequency. And I know for a fact that these Anunnaki beings have evolved over time. So they have, advanced in technology, advanced more spiritually by now. Okay, they can contact us through the spirit. They can even come to us in dreams and visions. They can do a whole lot of things that you probably have not even thought of at this moment. Okay, they can travel through time and space. They can do a whole lot of things. Okay, so many of our ancestors have also, ascended to higher dimensions. So we got beings who exist in higher, dimensions, okay, in higher worlds, okay, and they are capable of doing so much more. They are above these 4D beings, okay, which will be your reptilians and your grays and all of these other lower vibrational entities who seek control and power over 3D, okay. So we got beings who have evolved past 4D, fourth dimension, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're talking about our ancestors, okay? Because many of us have evolved, and many of us, we've returned back. Many of us have incarnated back in the flesh, okay? to complete missions that you guys have no idea what we have achieved during time. So people need to be really, really careful on what they say or what they speak, because you have no idea what these higher beings are capable of doing. And if you listen, you read the Emerald Tablets, you will begin to see a lot more, especially when you open up your third eye. And Thoth was able to do a lot of things. And Thoth may be around to this day, right now, observing each and every one of you. Like he said, he looked into the hearts, and the minds of humanity. And I've been pretty much saying the same thing on my own ministry page. So me and Thoth is connected, definitely. So his message, Yeshua taught, and I'm also teaching the same message as Thoth. So I already know that these beings are definitely connected to me. They've already come to me in the spirit, and I know that these are my ancestors, okay? So I want to mention a couple of things right now. Why I was pretty much really led to speak on Nibiru is because Nibiru is going to return, you guys. A lot of people don't want to face these facts. A lot of people are lying about the existence of Nibiru. They don't want the world to know the truth. And I don't understand why, because it's written in the scriptures. It's written in the scrolls, the ancient text. It's everywhere, okay? It's all here in plain sight. And yet so many people are still denying the existence of this planet. I don't know why. And maybe because they fear destruction. Maybe they're scared to die. Maybe they're scared of what's coming, what's going to happen. And that's ultimately what it seems like, why people don't want you to know the truth. But I feel as though I would rather know the truth. I would rather know what's coming, okay? Which is the reason why, I feel my ancestors were, warning us. They was giving us the signs. They was telling us of everything that would happen on the earth. Yeshua even showed us these signs. He showed us what was going to happen, okay? He was pointing to this time of the return of Nibiru. Regardless of how people look at it, the sign of the Son of Man is Nibiru, okay? That is what it is. It's showing you this is what is going to cause fear, on the earth. People are going to go crazy, okay, with the thought of, the earth, being destroyed. But you have to understand that, the earth has gone through so many cycles, has gone through, oh my God, so many things over time. And we are going to enter into a new age, which is the age of Aquarius, you guys. We are currently, in the end of the age of Pisces. So we have to understand, this is what Yeshua was telling us. He was talking about the end of the age, That's what he was referring to. He came in this age of Pisces, and he was sent to give us these messages to prepare us for the end of this age, because Nibiru was going to be returning at the end of this age, okay? So I'm sorry to say this, it's happening. It's here. I've seen it. I've seen it in my dreams. A lot of people have seen it in the skies. It's coming, okay? There's nothing that you can do about this celestial being. I'm sorry. You're human. You cannot destroy this planet. You cannot, people or the government may feel like they want to go up and try to destroy the planet or do whatever they want to do with their missiles. I'm sorry. This planet is huge, okay? It's very, very powerful. So your weapons is not going to do anything, okay? Weapons does not solve anything, and it only creates more destruction, okay? So if you just tell the truth, let everybody know what's going on. Everybody can be at peace with everything, okay, and understand what happens. This has happened quite often on the earth. This earth is billions of years old. This earth has went through so many different things, and I can tell you the mother earth is very, very strong, and she will survive, okay? She's not going to be utterly destroyed where she cannot redeem herself, okay? This actually is going to cleanse her, okay? It's going to purify this planet. It's going to renew her, okay? So you must understand that the earth is, shifting in vibration as well. She is ascending, just like we are ascending on this planet. So the truth of the matter is Nibiru is returning. The Anunnaki is here. The Anunnaki are here on ships. There are other beings here on ships as well. There is a war occurring that you cannot see, okay? You cannot see this war happening. It's because guess what, you guys? Just like in the beginning where, Enki did not want humanity to be involved in these wars, it's like this war that's secretly going on that you have no idea what's going on, okay? The media is only going to tell you so much, but there's so much more happening behind the scenes that you have no idea what's happening. They're going to only tell you what they want you to know, what they want you to hear. Okay? I don't know how many people look at Gaia. Okay? I don't know how many people look at cosmic disclosure. Come on, y'all. Y'all have to put this stuff together. They are only going to tell you so much. They're not going to tell you everything, no matter how they come out and say, oh, we disclosing this or we disclosing that. I'm sorry, but the truth is y'all are working with the malevolent beings. You're not working with the benevolent beings, okay? So no matter how much they want to come out and say, oh, we got healing technology, or, we're working on this, or we're doing that. No, y'all doing it for yourselves. You're not worried about humanity. You're not worrying about the rest of us, okay? So we, okay, must understand what is happening on this planet. And I'm here to tell y'all need to wake up, and you need to do this research, because all of the information is actually available to you now. You cannot say, oh, well, we don't know. Well, you don't know because you're not looking, or you're not seeking this information. I understand everybody does not understand all of this information, but it is available to everyone. And when you start to hear a lot of people talk about this, a lot of people get confused, okay? They're going to cause confusion. There are going to be so many different sources out there that's going to try to manipulate you, or try to make you believe one thing and doubt the other thing. And come on, okay? Like I've always said, those who are pure in heart, trust me, you're going to know. You're going to understand this. Okay? Those who are really seeking love, okay, and unity, you're going to see the truth. You're going to see beyond all of this crazy stuff. You're going to awaken. You're going to separate yourself from all of this foolishness that's going on. You're going to be able to see the truth. And it doesn't matter what everybody has to say, because you're going to have the truth. You're going to know the truth because you experience the truth, okay? Nobody can tell you what you experienced. Nobody can tell you what you dreamed, or what what visions you had, or who came to you, who spoke to you, or whatever. Nobody can take that away from you. You know what you saw, okay? And a lot of people, feel like they're crazy for speaking on a lot of different things. Okay, you're not crazy. Okay, the rest of the world is crazy. Okay, because you are different, and you were made to speak up. You're supposed to stand up for the truth. Don't be afraid to stand up for the truth. Okay? Everybody should know that there are extraterrestrial beings in the universe. At this point in consciousness, everybody should know that there are UFOs, okay? And there are other beings who ride on those UFOs, okay? Everybody in this world should understand that there are so many different races of beings in the universe. Everybody should know there is life on other planets. Everybody should know, okay, that we're not the only ones. At this point, if you feel like we the only ones in the universe, then baby, you need to wake up. You need to wake up, because this universe is expanding every moment. Okay? Life is being formed and created all throughout this universe. There are so many different beings who exist on other planets and other star systems. Okay? There are so many more intelligent beings out there. So many other beings who exist in higher dimensions that you can't even see, because your vibration ain't high enough, so you can't even communicate or even tune in to their frequency. Okay? So there's so much more, okay, that humanity, can't see at this moment in time. But there are many of us who can see in the higher dimensions and can understand and comprehend some of this information that's coming in. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are from these higher dimensions. If you feel like you out of place, or just something don't seem right, then you know you ain't from this world. You probably volunteered to come here to this planet to help. If you feel like everything on this earth, something is wrong with everything, you just like it just seems out of place, it's out of order, where you from somewhere else, okay? It don't make sense. The structure does not make sense, because that is because you're not from here. You're from another dimension, or you could be from another time. You could even be from the future, returning back to the past, okay? It's time for people to wake up, and it's time for people to know the truth about Nibiru. I'm tired of people keep saying that Nibiru does not exist. It does exist. They just don't want you to know the truth. They're trying to, shut you up and don't say nothing. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to say something, because it's all throughout the ancient texts. They're trying to destroy the existence of a planet and a people. Sorry, but you're not going to destroy something that already exists before you even existed. Okay, these beings live a long time. Their lifespan is longer than our lifetime. So they've learned so much. We will have to pretty much keep returning to the earth just to, gain as much knowledge as they have in their one lifetime. Humans don't even make it to 70 years old. Some of us don't even make it to doggone 30. So you think about that. People dying so young, yet these beings live for thousands and thousands of years. So Nibiru is returning, whether you believe it or not. Okay? Whether you believe it or not, some people keep saying it's not in this dimension. Okay, we can take that from another perspective. It's ascended. It's in a higher vibration. Okay? You could be looking in it from another timeline, from another angle. But Nibiru does exist. And the beings on Nibiru exist. And many of them have actually incarnated during this time, and they have awakened. and they know that they come from Nibiru. They know that they were on Nibiru, possibly in another lifetime. Okay. They could even travel through time and space. So I'm just going to end that there, and I probably will be doing another video because I really didn't touch a whole lot of points that I really want to make on this. But I just feel like I needed to just present this information to those who want to know the truth about Nibiru, because so many people are asking about this. I'm seeing this so much, and it's like people know the truth and they doubting it because they allowing other people to like steer them away. This is ridiculous. Stop listening to these people who rule this planet. They've been lying to all of us for so long. It is time for you to wake up. They don't want you to know the truth. You need to open up your third eye, y'all. Open up your third eye. You need to meditate, raise your vibration, because I'll be over here opening vortexes. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for listening.